do you see a pattern here? I've been arrested 4 times in 5 months for nothing. I wonder who is behind this profiling. In any event, it is going to take years and a whole lot of money to get justice in civil court. But our cases are rock solid, at least I think so. And you, my beloved audience members, you can help us out by going to standwithdavid.com. That's standwithdavid.com to make a donation so that we can continue to bring you the other side of the story. Thank you so much in advance. But the Toronto Police Service targeting Rebel News is even worse than we originally thought. Because as Hogtown cops were shutting down independent journalism on the streets, behind the scenes, they were trying to secretly censor our videos. And once again, no, I'm not making this up. Recently, we were made aware of a letter that was addressed to Google's Legal and Investigations Department. The author of the letter is Toronto Police Inspector Jack Gurr. Gurr? Isn't that the noise that the Frankenstein monster makes? Anyway, last August, Inspector Gurr sent a letter to Google, the parent company of YouTube, requesting that it delete a Rebel News video. It was a monologue presented by yours truly, and apparently, it struck a nerve. By the way, Inspector Gurr is a unit commander at the Toronto Police Service. What unit, you ask? Well, the Equity, Inclusion, and Human Rights Unit, of course. I'm sure this prudent use of police resources warms the hearts of anyone who, say, might have had their wheels stolen in recent months. But I digress. I'm going to read the threat letter by Gurr verbatim. Here goes. Quote, "Dear Google Legal Investigations Support, removal of law enforcement training video published on your platform. I am writing with respect to the unauthorized access, use, and publication of law enforcement training material created by the Toronto Police Service. The gender diversity and trans inclusion video was created as a confidential training aid for TPS members in their engagement with members of the diverse communities that we serve. This is a work of copyright, not intended for public consumption, as acknowledged in the video, by who we assume to be the upholder / associated with the uploader at timestamp 332. Due to its confidential nature, the publication of the material is not covered by the fair dealing exception, equivalent of fair use exception in the US. The training aid was co-developed with members of vulnerable communities who never intended for their image or personal identifying information to be viewed by the public in any way. Neither the TPS nor the community members consent to the publication of this material. The continued publication of this material is a breach of information and privacy, one that continues to bring harm to those captured in the video and their respective communities, in addition to TPS. Consequently, we request that the video in question be removed or published in a manner that does not include TPS training material. Should you require further information, please do not hesitate to reach out directly to me. Please provide prompt acknowledgement of compliance with this notice to Jack Gurr." End quote. Privacy? What privacy? The transgenders in the training video, a motley crew of participants who make Looney Tunes characters look like West Point graduates, had their videos observed by literally thousands of viewers. Indeed, there are more than 5,000 uniformed and undercover officers employed by the Toronto Police Service, more than 5,000 sets of eyeballs viewing that video. Well, that would seem like a whole lot of so-called privacy violation to me, wouldn't you say? And really, if privacy was such an issue, why didn't the producers of this video blur the images of those transgenders? As well, the Toronto Police Service is not some private corporation. It's publicly funded. Taxpayer money produced that ludicrous transgender training module, all of which makes a copyright claim preposterous. Indeed, I think the real motivation behind this trumped-up copyright claim is that the brass at the Toronto Police Service don't want citizens knowing that the force is more committed to DEI and wokeism than it is to, actual law enforcement. And really, they should be embarrassed. I'll show you why in just a few minutes, so hang on. Thankfully, I'm delighted to report that Google dismissed the censorship request. In fact, the way we found out about this brazen attempt at censorship was due to a letter sent to Rebel News by Google informing us that the Toronto cops were in fact hell-bent on trying to get that video deleted. Quote, "We received the copyright infringement notification below regarding your video. We believe your content is protected by fair use, fair dealing, or a similar exception to copyright protection. We are writing to let you know we do not plan to remove your video at this time. You have control over the availability of videos on your channel, including the ability to delete them if you choose. Please be advised, it is possible the copyright owner will approach you directly to request removal or take other action. This email is not intended as legal advice. If you are interested in more information regarding your options in this matter, you may wish to consult a qualified attorney. Please note the complainant's physical address and phone number have been redacted from the copyright infringement notification below. Sincerely, the YouTube team." End quote. Nice. Score one for freedom of the press. What a concept these days, eh? But as soon as this censorship cat was out of the bag, we really wanted to find out how this thought policing ever got into gear in the first place. So our FOI guy sent a Freedom of Information request to the Toronto Police in which he stated, quote, "Provide copies of any communication with YouTube regarding Rebel News/Rebel Media videos since January 1, 2021, end quote. And folks, last month, we received a response to our FOI request from the coordinator of the Access and Privacy section of the Toronto Police Service. That person's name, by the way, is P. McGee. No, really. And shame on any of you cheeky monkeys out there falsely stating that P. McGee is the author of Rusty Bed Springs. That would be I.P. Knightley, of course. Anyway, here's what P. McGee stated, quote, "Please be advised that after consultation with our relevant internal stakeholders, we have been advised that no responsive records could be located. Access, therefore, cannot be provided," end quote. What? No records? Hey there, P. McGee. We have a copy of Inspector Gurr's letter. If we have this document, so do you. So what gives? You know, folks, this situation has gone from bad to rancid. And there's a saying that comes to mind here, that being, it's not the crime, it's the cover-up, which is to say, the censorious thugs at the Toronto Police are guilty of trying to derail free speech. And when they failed, well, they've gone into cover-up mode, haven't they? Despite the evidence. Are you as disturbed as I am that these are the people we depend on to uphold the law of the land? That these are the people who are entrusted with the lethal force? That these are the people who, should they choose to lie on the stand, can end up putting away an innocent citizen behind bars for a very, very long time, I think this is downright chilling.